Is Columbia, South Carolina still a smart move when comparing it to everywhere else in the United States? Well, the short answer is yes, of course it is. I get so many calls talking about why is Columbia's market different than the rest of the United States. So in this video, that's what I'm going to be going over today. How does the Columbia market really compare? Why is it when everything else seems to be falling apart, Columbia's market has always done well? And listen, stick around to the end because I'm actually going to give you my playbook where in this market, what I believe that buyers and sellers need to be doing different in this market. So let's get it going. I'm Chad Dorman, and I'm your local realtor. I help folks just like you. I've helped hundreds, and I'm still helping people relocate here to Columbia, South Carolina, and the surrounding areas. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know more about the Columbia market every single time that I post a video, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can be the first to know about the current market every time that we post right here. Now, I did want to tell everybody I got more questions and stuff about why I did not post last week. I should be having stuff ready for them 4, 5, 6 videos ahead of time, and I have not, which is what I need to be doing now because when last week happens and I get COVID of all things and had a bad time of it last week, I had no videos. I need to make a difference in that because I've got to stay consistent in getting all this information out to you. It will not happen again. Let's go ahead and get into this video right now. Okay, guys, let's start it out by number one. Let's talk about the U.S. market because what's happening is I am getting calls. So I know agents all over the United States, and I am getting calls all the way from California, Texas, Arizona, even got a call from Chicago recently, which those are totally different markets. But what I'm being asked a lot of the time, why is even when we are switching over, it looks like almost to a balanced market, I've got houses sitting on inventory for quite a while. Why is it that Columbia's market always seems to do a little different? So the U.S. median national sales price right now is $439,000. And believe it or not, even as a nation, that's 1.6% up year over year. Prices they're not crashing, but they're just inching up. They're not going up like they did during COVID. Everybody across the nation, with the interest rates the way they were down and everything, and houses were going like crazy. Here in Columbia, I don't even know if we had a month's worth of inventory. You didn't even have to be an agent. A seller's agent stick a sign in a front yard and have 10 offers within the first week. It was insane what was going through there. This is a more stable market. So this summer was actually one of the strongest buyer leaning seasons on record. I've been in retail or real estate now for close to 8 years, and I've always been in a seller's market. Well, nationally, what they're saying is this is one of the strongest buyer leaning markets, which is why I've had people from all over the United States calling me, asking me, how are y'all still in a seller's market when we are in a buyer's market right now, or buyer leaning market, maybe more of a balanced market, which it's finally pulling a little bit of leverage back to the buyer, and the seller doesn't have everything before. And of course, the rates right now, they're fixed. Over the last year, they've been as low as 6.5. We are in the sixes. We just dropped a quarter federal rate at the end of September, and there's possibly going to be hopefully another 2 quarter drops before the end of the year. And again, federal rate doesn't necessarily translate into mortgage rate, but it can. Buyers are getting back out there, and it shows, it's evidence that buyers are re-entering the market once the payments are improving. Give me a call and I can tell you about this even more in detail. Now let's talk about the Columbia market right now. So the price and the speed of the Columbia market is a lot different than nationally. One, our median sales price here is, now it's different for different suburbs, but for the Columbia area overall, it's about 270,000, 275, which is almost half of what the national rate is. And again, that's why so many people are moving here. and our population is increasing just about better than anybody. But the market has slowed down even here in Columbia. It's really a weird market. Right now, we probably have about 3 months worth of inventory. 4 to 6 months is more of a balanced market. Anything below 4 is more of a seller's market, and anything above 6 is going to be a buyer's market. In Columbia, we are technically still in a seller's market. But again, when we go back to COVID, those rates, it was not good. I mean, houses would jump as much as 20 and 30,000 in a year. The appraisals, the market can't sustain that. I mean, it was as much as 10 to 15% growth in prices and appraisals within a year. Now we are back to 4, 5, 6%, which we can sustain long term, and it's helping buyers out. If houses are priced right, which we're going to talk about this with sellers also, if houses are priced right, they're going in 2 to 3 weeks. We still have it in the desirable areas, many of these great school districts, all the way from Lexington 1 to Lexington Richland 5. It's helping those appraise even more and holding the market. And in those desirable areas, which are where new builds are just stacking right now. 25% of closed sales right now in our MLS are new builds. In those areas, houses are still even having multiple offers. Not 10, 15 offers like they were at one time, but you might have 2 or 3 offers, and you may be getting offers quicker, and the buyers are coming back out now. The inventory has been creeping up. Like I said, even in COVID times and whatnot, there might have been a month worth of inventory, and sometimes not even that. So you had the buyers out there because the rates were so many more buyers than sellers that houses were just jumping off the market every time when they did it. But now the inventory has creeped up. Some of those higher prices homes, 500 and higher, are taking longer to sell because there's not as many buyers out there for those. But again, the buyers are coming back out, and they're coming back out in force with these rates dropping. So the good homes still moved. Overpriced homes, they're still sitting until you get the right price. Now, well-presented homes, those can pull multiple offers, 1, 2, 3, and 4 people coming in, and especially if they have stuff there, buyers still have the room to negotiate a lot of those repairs. That's what the Columbia market looks like right now. Text me if you want to know more about this market. I answer all my text messages, and I better get set up a Zoom. I've got a Zoom call in 15 minutes, so I got to get this video wrapped up. Where do we differ? The biggest point in the U.S. and Columbia, of course, is that difference in median sales price. $270, $439, that's a big difference. So it's attracting a lot of out-of-state buyers, especially when we're one of the top places people are moving right now with population year over year. We're one of the highest in the nation. Standard right now, what we're running is about 35, 40 days on market in our MLS. Certain areas are more than others, but it's not those fast frenzy days. There's time for healthy inspections and appraisals, and many U.S. metros have slowed a lot more dramatically than what's here in Columbia. Now, the power balance in Columbia, leverage exists. The buyers are getting that more of that leverage, whereas micro markets can matter in with that leverage. It's not a humongous amount of leverage, but a lot more than what buyers did have. What's moving the Columbia market? So why is Columbia different than everywhere else? Again, I say it all the time, buyers come for that cost, but they stay for the late life, the schools, and even the community, that southern living that everybody's looking for. Now, new construction, because like I said, 25% of our close rates right now are new construction. Why is it so much? Because buyers have researched, they've done their due diligence here in Columbia, and they know that the buyers are out there. They know new builds are selling right now. People are wanting newer homes. You just got to be aware of those HOAs a lot of times. Forest Acres is one of the top suburbs here in Columbia. I don't talk about it a lot, but there's no real new builds in Forest Acres because it's so full, and it's close to downtown. There's a lot of beautiful restaurants down there, and it's got some great subdivisions and even bigger lots down there. Columbia has always been a great market, and that is with things like USC, healthcare, government jobs, Fort Jackson, and much more. Yet we're adding even more. You've got Scout Motors coming in. You've got tech positions. More tech positions are coming to Columbia, not necessarily the companies, but people are working out of their homes, and satellite companies are moving here for the cost of living. So people are working out of their homes more in what they're doing. Insurance and finance is also huge here in Columbia. And of course, you've always got expanding healthcare. The new facility that USC is bringing in, training facility for School of Medicine, all of this translates to the economy. The economy, cost of living, job availability, all of this is tied in. And this is why our market can take so many more people coming in, so that you get a good mixture of, you're out in the country, not far from Columbia, and still at the same time, you have a beautiful neighborhood that you can do things within the neighborhood, a community pool, different things like that. And with the new builds, these communities, you get more benefits with them. Buy down rates as low as 4.99%, where they give you closing costs, amenities, or buying down the rate up to $15,000 in a lot of these new build communities. So you're getting a lot of those benefits when you come in. That is sort of why, with the economy and everything, is why the builders have the confidence to keep on doing those new builds here. For what you're looking for, to wrap it up, to give you what people are looking for now, get fully underwritten pre-approvals for buyers, not pre-qualifications. You want full pre-approvals. That's going to go a lot more before you ever start looking for the first house. Go look at my lending video with Erica. A lot of people have thanked me for doing that, and she is even getting business off of it also from that video alone. Go check that out, especially for first-time home buyers. She works with anybody from a $100,000 house all the way up to million-plus houses. Renovation loans, which they do with prime lending. A lot of people that want to come in, they don't have the money to fix it. They do with prime lending renovation loans also, where you can add into the price of fixing it up into your loan. Target the stale listings if you're looking for concessions. Find the ones that have been on market for 30, 60, 90 days. Those that are looking to sell it quicker, have your agent talk to the agent. Most of them, in their agreements, they give them the power to negotiate to do it. If not, that's a whole nother ball game, but we can talk about that too. Look for the A+ school zones in area where are more stable and will hold their value even more so. There are different areas. Even the Shandon Rosewood area appraised real well here. They're still appraising well out in Lexington real well, even Irmo and Chapin. These areas that have the great school zones, and even in Blythewood coming up too, which, I'll be honest, almost 8 years of real estate in Columbia, and I've sold hundreds of houses. I have never had a seller lose money, ever, even after selling it after they've only owned it for a year. That's the Columbia market. Now for sellers, to give you a little bit of advice for sellers, price it with the day's comps. Don't try to get more than your house is worth, or, run the comps. I give you the ranges. I give you my advice, then you pick the price, but have a plan when you go in. This is not 2020. It's not 2021. It's not going to sell just like that. The agent actually matters in this. Know going into it if you're going to offer concessions, if you're going to offer how fast that you want to do it, how fast that you want to buy it, is how fast you need to sell it. Monitor what price you need to put it at, what concessions you need to do, as far as looking at repairs and different things too. But know going in, it's a different market right now, and things are sitting on the market if buyers don't want it, because they're comparing those houses to new builds and the rates and the prices that are going there. You look at other resales even around the area, and what you're looking at. If they can get more house for a better price, this is why your house is sitting. So know all these factors going in and looking at your comparables. And what I'd do if I were you, shop Irmo, Lexington, Northeast, resales, new builds with incentives where you can negotiate credits and inspection repairs. And think of those. Move up buyer. As far as time the market with a buy before sell strategy, you want to have a strategy going in as far as what you want, and that's where a good agent comes in, and how you're going to show your house if you're selling it, what you're looking and where you're looking if you're a buyer's agent. Decide where you want to be when you're planning what you want to look. I've gone and looked at as much as 10 houses a day, but it's easier to narrow it down. Take 6 or 7 houses in a day where you can spend more time in them and then hit another day for more. Columbia outperforms the national market on affordability and lifestyle. Text me your price point and wish list. I'll send you, we can get together, get a plan. Book a Zoom call. I love sitting down. I've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes before I meet with this next Zoom call. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I will start putting these out. I've got a lot more plans, a lot more videos coming up. So let's do this. Check it out and give me a call.